I'm going to do an extremely controversial Mask Monday tonight, and I am going to teach you how to correctly pop a pimple. And while I don't condone popping pimples, I know that we all have that moment of weakness, or we have something on the next day and we think it's going to make things better by popping it. 9 times out of 10, it's really not. But I thought it was an opportunity to educate you on what to look out for, how to do it correctly, because I know that we're all going to do it. So number 1 is making sure that your pimple is super superficial. So as you can see here, there's really not much skin left, so the pimple is popping all the way out throughout the skin. If you just had a little bit of a red bump, squeezing it is only going to make the pimple bigger, last longer, and it's most definitely going to make scarring and pigmentation issues later down the track. So making sure it's super superficial. I've just washed my hands with soap. I'm going to cleanse that area. I've hopped out of the shower, but I'm going to double cleanse this area. I've got a little face cloth that I'm going to run under warm water because we want to open up the pores as much as possible so that we don't need to apply pressure for it to come out. I've got 2 clean pieces of toilet paper. I really don't like, well, please don't use your fingertips. There's more bacteria underneath your fingernails than under a toilet seat. Also, the Q-tips are just a little bit wiggly, so I know you see lots of fun videos of pimple popping with the Q-tips, but you actually don't get enough control to do it gently and slowly. So I really just like wrapping your fingertips with 2 pieces of clean toilet paper. And then I also have some wound gel. So normally I would just put on Manuka honey, but this is just one that I had from the little scar, which is not looking that great. I need to give that some TLC, but it's just an antibacterial Manuka honey, but plain Manuka honey would be perfect. And I do want to mention, I have been doing spot treating on this pimple only last night because we've been away, but I really wanted to draw everything out to the top before making this video. So let's just go in with the Botanical Glow Cleanser and make sure I don't get any on my eyeball. So really making sure we're cleansing not just the pimple but the area around it, because we're going to be, you know, causing a little bit of trauma to the skin. And then this face cloth is quite warm, and we don't want to like put very much pressure on it because otherwise it will pop. And I'm just going to hold it on the skin for a little while to help open up the pores. And if you do have a pimple, just be mindful when you are using your makeup removal pads or even your cognac sponge, because the gentle exfoliation is going to probably bump the top of it off. That will do for now. Making sure I've got clean fingers, even if they are going underneath it. You just want to gently, from a little bit of a distance, apply some pressure in like a circular motion. And then once it is popped, you want to make sure that you get all the white stuff out. Otherwise it will, you know, continue to be a pimple. But you want to make sure you stop as soon as you start to see blood, because when you start to see blood, it's then becoming more of a wound than a pimple. And then applying a little bit of pressure. Something I also sometimes do is pop a bit of ice on there because it's going to stop the inflammation. But a little bit of pressure will also stop the bleeding. Then I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that wound gel on clean fingertips. I absolutely hate any product that your fingertip touches where the product is going, because if I had dirty fingers, it's just going back in there. So my number 1 tip for preventing breakouts is ensuring that you don't have any skincare products like a moisturizer or a balm where you're actually putting your fingers in, or a mask. You're just going to be putting bacteria back in there. It's going to keep festering. So always go for a pump top so you're not touching the applicator. If you've got your dropper, make sure you're not touching it on the skin or the hand, like drop from a higher distance. But that is how you safely pop a pimple. Definitely don't recommend it. It is best to wait it out because then you're going to avoid any kind of trauma to the skin. I will have a red mark here for a couple of days now, but I just thought it's a fun little opportunity to share some tips if you're going to do it.